Yes, I'm joined by Saruhan Hatipoglu. He is CGTN's global economic analyst and the CEO of Berry, a risk intelligence firm. Let's start with reopening. We know that some of the big car manufacturers, Ford, GM, they've started that process. They want to be open in the next few weeks. It's a logistical issue. What message are they sending? What are they trying to do? Are they trying to get ahead of the next quarter? What's your take on that?
Well, the auto industry is going to be absolutely negatively affected by this. The decisions have been delayed, not only because companies have made decisions themselves, but also in China, they need to go through inspections. They need to go through a different type of bureaucracy there, and there is simply not enough manpower to be able to do that because of the coronavirus. So the numbers are going to be pretty bad in first quarter, not only here, but also Nissan, for example, closed its Japan factory because it's not getting the supplies that it needs from China. Hyundai did the same thing in South Korea. So globally, auto industry is going to be badly affected by this for sure.
We already heard from Apple earlier this week. Coca-Cola now saying it's cutting current quarter earnings, but hoping and planning to meet the year expectations. How difficult is it for companies to make up for this lost quarter?
It's very difficult, especially companies like Coca-Cola or Starbucks, Apple. These companies are facing an unknown situation. I go back to SARS in 2003. It lasted about 8 months. So if it's anything like SARS, which all the indications are showing to me personally that it is, we may end up getting to July, August. And if that is the case, they can cut all the numbers that they want first quarter, hoping that they're going to make it for the rest of the year. But if that's the case, it's not going to be possible to be able to do that, because only after you contain the virus, people are going to feel a little more confident, but not immediately they're going to go out to restaurants or Starbucks and enjoy life as they had been. So I'm expecting more cuts, forecast cuts as the year progresses. Hopefully it will not be as long as SARS, but I have a feeling that it just might.
Let's take a live look at the markets here in the United States right now. Down 200 at the moment. It opened down 100. I want to get your take on, we see the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there, reacting this morning to a jump in cases, both in China and also a big jump in South Korea. What's your read?
Well, the stock market has been complacent. In the U.S. as well as global markets, majority of them. China recovered pretty quickly too in the stock market. And that's a dangerous thing to do. In the United States, I can understand why, even though complacency is not good. Look at S&P 500, 6% of the revenue in these companies are generated in China, more than 60% in the United States. United States is so far immune from the coronavirus. And investors are looking at it, but they're keeping their eyes in the rear mirror, but they're not very much affected by it yet. The supply chain issues are beginning to show themselves in the numbers. And what we've seen yesterday and what we're seeing today are indications of that. You take the stairs to the stock market top, but you take the elevator down. And the way it's looking, that we're going to have a big correction at some point.
The express elevator. How are companies, we have about 30 seconds left, but very quickly, what do companies need to know as they are planning the weeks and months ahead around this coronavirus?
Well, they need to know, first of all, within themselves, within the companies themselves, they have to have a strategy, and I believe that a lot of them do. But they also need to communicate, not with the central government, but local officials. And there's, we hear reports that local official communication within provinces are not very good. So if they can get at least some kind of an idea as to whether there's going to be enough supply to be able to open a factory or have their workers go to that factory. Those companies that are waiting for inspections, are there going to be people to be able to conduct and complete those inspections? These are logistical information that each company that wants to do business in China, wants to go back to business in China, needs to know. And that information is not out yet.
All right, Saruhan, thank you so much for joining us.